Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Savage Beast here, and today we are here in Uxbridge County, which is in London here, somewhere near Hillingdon and near Heathrow Airport. But today we are taking you on a ride to one of the most exotic cars, which is the Porsche Panamera, but it is the turbocharged option here. So let's take a look inside what's new over there. So like you got some detailings with the doors, and let yeah. So this appears to be like in a four-seater configuration layout, and also it is a bit inspired from the real-life design of the actual car of Porsche Panamera. So let me just close it up. However, the frunk and the trunk of the car is won't be able to open it because we neither have the keys nor the click interface works properly with this car here in Roblox. So let me just take you inside what's there. Like you got some animations like with the steering wheel, and you got some exotic seating layout on the either side, but I think, and you got the rear air conditioning, but somewhat with the turbocharge option, like you could even have a better performance. So like let me just turn it up. You you have this detailing with the ambient light as well as with the infotainment system. Like here you got this ambient lighting and with some widgets over there, and what I mean is by this function over that side right next to the tachometer of the car. But if I would take you on an infotainment, like you got the device tab switch and also with the app tab of this infotainment, and one of the coolest features that I would like to say is that it also features actively with Apple CarPlay. So if I would initialize it, it appears to be in a real life of Apple CarPlay, but however, it is a completely knockdown and it depicts more like you're using an iOS 14 version of the Apple CarPlay over there. Like like you can even access to the phone, like where you it depicts everything, but however the home screen is on that side instead of the center, which takes you to the home as well as the split screen in reality. But you could even scroll through anything, which is again a bit similar to the real Apple CarPlay over there. And you music is unavailable, and if we take you on a maps, it depicts only this, but you cannot actually start a navigation over there. And if I would take you back, there are messages, but Apple Music over there is different from what it is on Now Playing section, which not only tracks Apple Music but also you got Spotify as well, and so with any other music platforms. But this interface does not change, which is a bit odd over there. And settings does not function neither with the calendar nor with the audiobooks and nor with the podcast, but this takes you back to the home screen of the car interface. and and let me just start this car. Like there's a seatbelt warning over there. If I would show you, like there's a seatbelt warning over that side. And let me take you on a drive, but also before taking you, let me show you some widgets over there. Like you could change anything from whatever perspective you want. Like you got fuel and you got temperature, and with tire pressure, and also with the drive performance and all sort of that thing. And that's all from the interior perspective. But let me show you what it feels like to drive this car over there. As if I would open up by pressing G, like you got the car information, which is a similarly a variant inspired in the Europe, and the car is in the UK. And the settings, it also features automatic lighting, adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, and ambient lighting. But with this, and also with miscellaneous functions, like you can control the car windows over there. Like as you see that I rolled one of the windows down, and I'm pulling it up, and the wipers are over that side, and you could see the movement of the wipers. And the air conditioning, it does work, but I'm not sure if we could see the mist coming out of these vents or not. But yeah, that's all what I have to say. But yeah, let's take you on a drive without wasting any further time. So I'm just taking you normally on the streets of London, and oops, yeah, I have collided it and I've rammed into something. Like this is a barrier. However, there are no airbags, and that needs to require some amount of detailing. And yep, let's take you on a ride across the streets of London. Isn't it that amazing over there? Like once you got, but I'm not sure. And also the forward collision warning fails at the same time. As I turned it on, it didn't work anything out over there. And neither with the adaptive cruise control. I'm not sure how it would work, but let's keep it as an afterthought, because they failed to deploy brakes, more like automatic emergency braking. And if I would show you downstairs, like not even downstairs, with that side, you could see the pedals animating, and even the gearbox is also animating, which is completely new out of it. Like you can see the pedals and the gearbox animating on its own. Like I like this detailing. See? Now, like, here we go. Back to the focus right now. Let me take what it is like, and let me show you from the outside perspective. That appears to look a lot more cleaner than what we actually thought. Reverse light, it works, but it also features a connected tail lamp, and also with brakes, and the turn signals are LED inspired, and also it features a fog lamps over there. And lighting is definitely somewhat worse, but when it comes to dipping on a high beam, it does not show you that much of detail over there, and it fails to do so. And we are taking you on a long trip. And the sound is coming off the PSI that is being taken up. It's like taking up about an amount of 6 PSIs. steering is also well animated, but you have to be a bit more careful when it comes to these areas. Like the road is blocked out of nowhere. And also, if you want to drift with the car, you could do it, but let me find an empty spot over there. Traction control off, anti-lock braking system also off. So let me just do one thing. Let me do a complete turn and rev a lot, and there we go. It does drift, unless if you don't want to drive that much compared to what you think. Like, even drifting a car has done a lot of detailing. Credits to the owner, actually. Traction control on, anti-lock braking system on, and there we go, speeding up across the highway, or even a motorway in short. Like, look at that, man, especially if you look at this detailing over there. Isn't it a bit exaggerated? But and the seatbelt warning goes off, and I've placed it on. And if I would brake it on the middle of a highway, it literally becomes unstable. Like, come on, man. This isn't how handbraking works. Like, there we go. Speeding down the highway again. Yeah, it has a lot of pickup, I would say. But sadly, no airbags deployed, and neither does the anti-lock braking system or automatic emergency braking has been applied. And even if I brake at such speeds, it doesn't come to a complete stop. And I'm off the track of the highway, and if I would just climb it back and speeding down, it seems to be picking up a lot of speed, about 222 km per hour. But on the other hand, the game has to load a lot, especially if you don't want to come with such surprises like with this. And also it's a bit laggy, so even if you're driving on this, I would consider you that you could drive unless if your laptop or any of your device is not that laggy. And as of now, let's do something else. Like, yeah, the warning signals trigger, and Let me just reverse this. Traction control and anti-lock braking system off. Like, if you want to feel it, just look at this. This car is a rear-wheel drive. Like, that much of the detailing, I love it. Now, let me just do one thing. Like, look at that drift. Isn't it that cool? Because it's turbocharged, it means you got a lot of power behind this car. Like, look at the steering animations. Isn't it that cool? But yeah, what about let's launch this car? Traction control and anti-lock braking system back on, and we are in a stable position. And yeah, it has a lot of stability behind this mechanism over there. And oh my god, how much times I'm literally flipping it over. Never mind. But we're back on the track and speeding up literally across the other end. And yeah, but as the day turns into night, I'm not pretty sure if those lightings are gonna take a lot of time or not, but on the other hand, it can be also a bit laggy if you see this obstacle like this. Like, it takes a lot of time to render it. Fails to break. But